Hi everyone. In this video, we will try to uh, work on a data fact on copying the data from one particular source to another particular source using Azure Data Factory. So, the sample we will consider that there is a data which is existing in one data source. It could be an AWS S3 bucket or an Azure storage account and everything. We would like to copy the data back into another data source, or we can keep it as a data stack or something, where we wanted to copy the data file, whichever is there, or set of files from one data store to another data store. And let's keep it as data store here. And as this is an example, I'll try to take an Azure storage account here. And there will be one file. I would like to copy that into the uh, another storage account. When I wanted to do that, how would I go ahead and do that is uh, through Data Factory is what we'll be learning in this video. We'll be achieving all this through Data Factory. To do that, I'll go ahead and start searching for Data Factory and go ahead and select Data Factories. And I'll create one. ADF. And I'll leave everything as it is. I'll go back to go into the review and I'll create a data factory. Data factory resource got created. I will launch the data factory studio. And here I wanted to connect two data sources. One is the storage account where it has the how do I keep it a file. So go ahead and create a data store. So here I'll say ADF data store test, and I'll leave this as LRS. I'll go into this review. Go ahead and create it. So this is where whatever the data which I wanted to copy from one location, it will be stored here. That is what is the plan. And similarly, I'll go ahead and create one more storage account which has the file or whatever the data, whatever it is. So that use some custom templates, as this is just a example or in hello world. So we'll deploy custom template. I'll pick up the quick start template. So that's the reason why I opened this. So when you wanted to copy a sample data, the quick start template to copy a data from an Azure storage account to another whatever location you wanted, you can use this, because this is going to create a storage account with a file movies db2.csv, which will have a huge amount of rows with all the movie list probably. I'll go ahead and choose the quick start template here. One thing is you can just copy this, which is the factory. I'll just copy that here and I'll just type it here and you will find it here. I'll set this template and will deploy it in this location. So I have initiated a deployment, which will which will create a uh, storage account and will copy the okay from one CSV file into that storage account. Let's wait for the deployments to complete it. Deployment is done. I'll go into the storage account. I'll select the storage account here. So in this, so what does that custom template which I have deployed, what does it do? It went ahead and created a storage account, and in this specific folder, it went ahead and created a CSV file, or it copied a CSV file from a different location. Doesn't really matter here, but it has a CSV file which has been holding the data. All this data which I wanted to just copy, uh, I will copy that entire into a different location, which is nothing but into this particular storage account. Let's see how we're going to do that. By going to back to this data factory, and can go ahead and select link services here, and I can go ahead and select here Azure blob storage, and I will say that data source, and which is nothing but or otherwise I'll just copy this and mention. I can't actually have hyphen, but okay. So I'll just say ADF test, and I will select this subscription where the storage account is there. And okay. So this is where, okay, I'll keep it this one, the storage account name, and the authentication type I'm leaving back as the account key. I'm not changing anything. Go ahead and creating one. Similarly, I'm going to create another link service in the Azure blob storage. I'll click on continue. Here, I'm going to choose where the actual data is there, and this is in this location. So I'll go and edit this one, and I'll mention the subscription where it is. There I go. I have created this data solutions. Now I'll go ahead to home and I'll click on ingest. Show that once again. I selected the ingest here. I'm just choosing the copy data task, which is going to copy a data from one source, and whatever mentioned file, it is going to copy that entire rows back into or the files back into another location, wherever I mentioned. So here I'm choosing source type is, this is where the actual data is. So I'm going to select this. Because I selected previously, I went ahead and provided this connection. Now it is going to it was authorized automatically and went into the folder where the actual data is, and that is in the data factory, and the input, that is the one. I'll go ahead and select this, and I'll choose a binary copy, and which is just going to copy the entire content of it without changing any of the schema and all that. And go ahead and choose next. Here, what is the destination? Where do I actually have to keep this entire copied data? Now I wanted to copy the data into this so and so ADF data store test, and the the folder where I wanted to keep it is ADF test. Under that, I wanted to say output. What is the file name of it? I leave the file name. So whatever the data, whatever file is being copied, it is going to be copied automatically into this folder. Then clicked on select. Now I can say copy task. To select any of this at this point of time. Go ahead and click next. So it's going to create a pipeline which will go ahead and copy the data from that location to the other location. If you see that go into the monitor section, I can go ahead and see pipeline runs if there are any existing pipeline runs. Now currently that is in progress. Let's wait for that to be completed. The task got completed. I can go ahead and see in this location is where the input in the input folder we have this one. If I go back into this one, they're just created where we don't have anything right now. Due to this, whatever the copy task, what happened is that data was being copied into this location, and if you look at it, this folder has been entirely replicated from the other storage account. What you can take back is, so tomorrow when you go back and ingest any data, so when you're copying a data from any other sources, you can go ahead and select any other sources. Suppose you're having an Amazon S3 bucket where you wanted have some specific files, or under the folders some subfolders and all the files, you can go ahead and select it, and you can do the same process. All those data will be copied into here. So there's more to it. You can perform ETL on Data Factory and all that. So in the coming videos, I'm going to show all those. So thank you guys.